this is the piece that we struggle with, I think, perhaps the most, is creating space. You seek the kingdom by creating space for God. And this is the part we get going. Some of us wake up in the morning, we barely get dressed and drink a cup of coffee, and we're in the car going to school or going to work or whatever. We haven't even given God space to speak to us about his intentions and his will for our day or for the world or anything. And we're by ourselves, we're on our own, making our own decisions. If you want to get really, really good at living in the kingdom, you have to create lots of space for God to speak to you. Listen to Psalm 46, verse 10. Be still and know that I am God. Here's my translation of that. Sit down and shut up. Quiet your voice. Quiet the noise. And know that God is God. Invoke the kingdom, align your heart with it, and then do what he says. That takes space. That is a practice. They say that expert athletes and musicians spend 3 hours a day for a decade to be at the top of their game. Olympic athletes and so on and so forth. What have they done? They've created 3 hours of space per day to practice their skill. Why would it be any different in the spiritual life? Most of us give God an hour on Sunday and maybe a little bit of time in a small group and maybe some time with a few prayers throughout the day. Not enough. Not enough. We need to give him larger amounts of time to speak to us so that we can obey him, align ourselves with him, and do what he says. How do we do that? We do it first thing in the morning. Where do you think I was first thing this morning at 6 a.m.? Where do you think I was? I was on my back porch. And what was I doing? I was reading the one-year Bible. I was in the book of Job, in the book of Psalms, in the book of 1st, 2nd Corinthians, praying and reading and aligning and seeking the kingdom of God every single day. I do it first thing in the morning, and I know some of you are like, well, I'm not a morning person. I say suck it up. I just gotta do it. I mean, this requires effort. It requires effort. I don't want to do it in the morning. Well, Jesus did it in the morning. What do you want me to say? You say, where does it say that? Mark 1:35. You can check it out yourself. We can argue about it later. Anyway, I love what Dallas Willard said. One of my favorite Dallas quotes. Silence allows the reality of God to stand in the midst of your life. Just be quiet. Just be quiet. And let God speak. And what you'll find is that he will stand in the midst of your life. And you will hear him speak to you about your life specifically and what to do. And then you do what he says to do. Gosh, I wish I could do this for you. I wish I could jump into your life and just do it. But you have to be the one to do this kind of work. And what you'll find is that, yeah, you'll still have to do resets from time to time, but they'll be far less. You will not drift away from God as much as you normally do. You'll be much more consistent in your walk with him because the kingdom has invaded your life. You see it as a treasure, and it's worth you selling everything.